section 4.2, we are going to be looking at measures of central tendency. So that means we're going to be looking at mean, median, and mode. So we do have some different types of central tendency. Central tendency is a single number that summarizes an entire set of data. Mean is the number that is most typically thought of as an average. Median is the number that is in the middle of the data, so it splits the data in half. And mode is the number that occurs the most often. So to find our mean, we are just finding the average. So your formula for mean is going to be the sum of all the data values divided by the number of data values. There is some shorthand for mean. If it is a sample mean, you will see X bar, and if it is a population mean, it is mu. A sample is representing part of a population, so it's not getting every individual person or data piece. A population represents an entire population, so that means every data piece is there. Here we have for the mean, so at the end of each semester we analyze the distribution of grades for a class. The following class has the final scores for a class. So we're looking for what is the mean. Again, you're going to add up all the data values and divide by how many we have. So if I add up this first column, I get 495. And if I add up the second column, I get a sum of 441. Okay, so now I need to add these two pieces up. So 495 plus the 441, and that's giving me 936. Over, and we have 12 pieces of data. So 936 divided by 12 gives us 78. If you have Excel and you feel comfortable using Excel, if you have a data set in there, you actually can use equals average and then highlight your data, and it will give you the mean. For the median, we will be looking at the middle value when all of the values are arranged in order from smallest to largest. So the first thing you should always do is list the data in order, and then you'll count from both ends until you get in the middle. So if you have an odd value, it will be the exact middle value, and if you have an even number of values, it will be the median. Or the median is the average of the two middle values. You can see an example here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You would just mark off each side until you got to the middle. If it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you again would mark off each side, but you see we have two values in the middle. So you're going to do 3 plus 4 divided by 2. So that's 7 divided by 2. So we should get a median of 3.5. Here we have a median example, again using that same data from class scores. Here, if I wanted to find the median, the first thing I need to do is arrange everything from least to greatest. So 16. All the way to 97. And then you can start marking things off. So 16 and 97, 56 and 96, 74 and 95, 78, 91, 82, 85. And here you notice we have these two middle values. So you're going to do that 80 2 plus 84 divided by 2, and you should get 83. So the median and the mean are the two most commonly used averages in statistics. The median tends to be more representative measure when the data set contains relatively few values that are either much larger or much smaller than the rest of the values. The mean of a set of data will be skewed toward extreme values called outliers, and therefore will be misleading representation of the data. So the mean is affected by outliers, whereas the median would not be affected by outliers. The mode of a set of data is the value that occurs most often in a set. Think mode, MO, most, MO. If there is no value that occurs most often, then there is no mode for the set of data. If there is more than one value that occurs with the greatest frequency, each of these is considered to be the mode. So that means if I have a data set that is something like 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, then both 1 and 3 are modes. A data set with two modes is called bimodal. If we take a look at the same example with the class final scores, we would be looking for what the mode is. So how many times do we see the same number? We see everything once except for 82, and we see that twice. So our mode here would be 82. There is some practice you can do in 4.1 from your textbook, and of course your MyMathLab homework for 4.2. If you have any questions, please let me know.